All right, hey Vikings fans, welcome in to another episode of the Skol Hop. I'm Evan.
And I'm Austin.
We're just a couple of dudes from Iowa. We like drinking beer, talking about the Vikings.
Yeah, we do. And tonight's beer was actually beers. We tried two different beers from two different breweries tonight, and they were both fantastic.
Yes, we did. We also talked about a now former Viking who cracked the NFL Top 100, which is pretty fun to talk about.
Yep, and we walked through kind of the slow time in the NFL offseason right now and talked about the really only dark spot the Vikings have had in the news all offseason, and it really wasn't even that bad.
And we're headed on the upward path, right? Yeah. We're headed towards training camp and the season, and things are getting excited. And we also talked about our upcoming brew hop.
I can't wait.
It's coming up very soon, so stay tuned for that.
Real soon. So go ahead, grab a cold one, and join us for episode 97 of the Skol Hop.
Skol.
Skol. All right, we just want to say thank you really quick to show sponsor Big Top Ventures for sponsoring today's episode. If you, like me, last week are looking to take a trip to an all-inclusive in either Mexico or Jamaica, and even if you don't really have any idea how much it costs or what you're looking for, you can still reach out to our friends at Big Top Ventures. You can do that by emailing them at bigtopventuresllc@gmail.com and just let them know you're kind of interested, and they will get you hooked up with the best prices possible and all the information you could ever need. I think one of our really good friends is about to book something with them here in the near future. I just got back from Cancun on a trip with them. I don't know if you can tell, I don't really tan, but I get a little bit redder. I don't know.
You're slightly less pale than you used to be.
That's aw, thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Such a great compliment. But yeah, if you want to be slightly less pale than you are right now, go ahead and reach out bigtopventuresllc@gmail.com and they will hook you up. Thanks, Big Top Ventures.
Yeah, thanks, guys. So when we sat down here tonight, we pulled some beer out of the fridge that we were excited to try.
Yeah.
But
I still am.
I'm still excited to try it too, but it was frozen solid. So we're continuing to have fridge issues here in the Skol Hop Man Center. Skol Man Center.
The Skol Man, Skol Man Center. It's been a minute since we called it that. Did we call it out a few weeks ago when the fridge died?
I think we did.
And we had to run and get actual cold beer.
I think it was like 3 or 4 episodes ago.
Yeah.
So we made our second trip in probably 3 or 4 weeks back to the store. And we decided to go a different route with beer tonight. We picked up 2 beers. And one of the beers we picked is pretty appropriate to this week in terms of Iowa culture. So I'm excited to try that one. And then we are kind of nearing the end of summer and just starting. Well, I mean, I'm a teacher and trust me, I don't want to be counting on the days, but I am.
All right.
School's starting soon, and we've got another beer that's kind of school,
Well,
fall.
not school, fall. Yeah,
fall.
definitely. School
that's
time.
when school starts.
Yeah.
So, anyways, which one should we talk about first?
Well, so I think you were about to say this. We're kind of splitting it up. So we're having 2 different beers tonight. You're going to try one, and then I will try the other, and then about sometime during the episode, we'll kind of switch and give like a mid-episode beer review. I think I'm going to go with the Oktoberfest. So from Reclaimed Rails in Bondurant, Iowa. I haven't seen this one before. It
might be new this year, I think.
It's called Polka Band. They say it's an Oktoberfest Marzen. For all I know, every Oktoberfest is a Marzen. I don't know. Maybe it never happens, and this is very unique. Either way, it's from Reclaimed Rails, so I know it's going to be good. Have you had this one before?
I have not. Like I said a second ago, I really think it's a new beer this year. I have never seen that one on the shelves, and I'm excited to try it, but I'm I'm trying to like prolong the goodness, which is why I opted to try it second rather than first.
Oh yeah, the extra 20 minutes is really gonna help you savor the goodness of Oktoberfest.
So the other one we picked up is the River to River Pilsner from SingleSpeed Brewing out of Waterloo. And the reason that one's significant is because we're recording on Monday, July 21st, and RAGBRAI started, was it yesterday or today?
You would know more than I would. I don't pay attention to it too much.
It was either yesterday or today in Orange City, Iowa. I know that's where it started, and it's following a mostly northern route. If you don't know what RAGBRAI is, it stands for the Register's Annual Great Bike Ride Across Iowa. Register is the Des Moines Register, the newspaper in Des Moines.
Oh, I didn't know. Well, I knew that, but I didn't know.
And I don't know that they even formally sponsor this whole bike ride anymore. But it's pretty cool. Every year, like thousands of people hop on their bikes and ride their bikes across the state of Iowa from the west to the east. And the tradition is they dip their back tires in the Missouri River before they take off, and then they dip their front tires in the Mississippi River on the other side, because the entire west and east borders of our state are made up of the Missouri and Mississippi River.
Nice.
So River to River is SingleSpeed's take on RAGBRAI. And fun fact, RAGBRAI goes through Cedar Falls, Waterloo this year. Another fun fact about RAGBRAI, and I think I could be wrong, and somebody out there could correct me, but I think I'm right. For the first time ever, RAGBRAI is going into Minnesota for a short time. Yeah, I think like tomorrow.
Interesting.
A short portion of the route goes up into the southern portions of Minnesota.
So a part of that, I think, there's a brewery we've had on the show before. They actually one time gave us a bunch of beer that we tried over a few episodes. Tatanka Brewing.
Yeah, we were just talking about them a little bit ago. I was looking at their keychain here in our drawer.
So I'm pretty sure Tatanka, RAGBRAI is...
They're probably on the route.
Yeah, they're on the route. So, and they're like a very northern Iowa, middle of the state brewery. So that's pretty cool that they're also one of the stops there too. So,
and I think for like real small, like uber micro breweries like Tatanka, events like RAGBRAI are huge for them, because it just brings a whole flood of people through, and they sell a ton of beer, and then people start to know about them, and people are like, oh, I like that beer, you know, the one that we had that one night when we were on our way across the state. And so anyways, RAGBRAI is a super cool thing. I would love to do RAGBRAI, at least a portion of it. Like, you don't have to do the whole thing.
Sure, yeah.
You can kind of like, oh yeah, I'm going to start here and end there. You can kind of pick and choose what you do. And I don't even think you have to register for anything. I think you just kind of show up with your bike and ride as far and as fast as you want to go. It's not even a race. It's just like
a ride. Yeah.
Let's just ride, and we'll go town to town, and we'll camp out in these towns. And
I don't think I've ridden a bike, probably in more than 15 years.
So I rode one this morning.
It would take me a while to figure out how to rebalance myself.
Well, maybe that's a Skol Hop like goal. Maybe we do a RAGBRAI.
Maybe we need to have like a fundraiser. Like if you guys raise enough money for some charity, then we'll do RAGBRAI.
Or we could rent like a van from Enterprise, and you could drive the van and I'll ride. And then we could just hang out and drink beer at night.
We'll do it. But for now, let's crack our beers open that we have and give them a try. I'm really excited for these.
I've had River to River before, so I kind of know what I'm getting myself into, and it's a really good beer. They've been making this for a while. It's probably been, gosh, I don't know, what year is it now? I might even be 10 years that they've been making River to River, somewhere in that ballpark. We have two very different looking beers though upon pouring.
Yeah,
mine is like somewhat hazy, and it's very golden, decent head. Yours is the amber that I love to see.
Yeah, it's a Oktoberfest amber here, and it looks really good. I'm just really excited to give these both a try.
I'm salivating because I want to try that one. I know this one is good, and I've had it.
Maybe I'll just pour some of mine in.
I'll drink it for sure, but I'm excited for that one. Skol. I want to know what you're experiencing over there.
Yeah, I mean, this is a nice, refreshing Oktoberfest. I mean, it's not too heavy, crazy, deep flavored. I feel like if you're trying to be outside during Oktoberfest and celebrate the festivities all day, I think, again, this is the Polka Band from Reclaimed Rails, 5.6%, so nothing crazy. Yeah, it's pretty refreshing. Definitely still has that ambery Oktoberfest flavor to it, but it's still got a lot of refreshing notes to it. I like it a lot. You will very much enjoy this.
I'm excited to try it. Mine's great too. If you've never had this one from SingleSpeed before, I would recommend it. It's got a very crisp finish, kind of like appley type of
it's not flavored apple, but I know what you're
flavored,
saying.
But it's got that like crispness to it, like a good crispy apple when you bite into it. It finishes clean. It's pretty sweet actually, so if you're kind of like on the lookout for something a little sweeter, less bitter, maybe you're kind of worn out on the hoppy flavor, there's not a lot of hops here, and I think that's pretty typical of a Pilsner. But it's sweet, and it's like a fruity sweet almost.
Nice.
But in a good way, not
without
like,
being like a sour.
Yeah, it's not a sour, and it's also not like a super fruity wine like you've had those before. Like it's not like that either. It's just good. It's a beer, and yeah, I don't know if I can describe it any better than that.
Yeah,
so
just a nice, refreshing Pilsner.
Yeah,
I can't wait to try it here in a little bit, and I can't wait for you to try this Polka Band here in a little bit too. So
we'll swap it out. Well, let's get into some football talks here.
Yeah, we do talk about the Vikings, don't we?
Yes,
every once in a while.
And speaking of swaps, the Vikings made a swap, I guess you could say, at quarterback, and the previous quarterback that actually played pretty well and led the Vikings to 14 wins last year. Is on a different team, but he cracked the top 100 list, and we've kind of been tracking either current Vikings or former Vikings that have made their way onto that list, and Sam Darnold is on the list.
Yeah, number 72, which is not half bad, considering this time a year ago, people would have laughed at the idea of him being considered one of the best players in the NFL, which that's what I consider this top 100 list. It's an educated, not an educated guess, but it's like a thoughtful list kind of thrown together by players, and it's essentially just the best players in the NFL. I think you'd be hard pressed to find anyone that looked you in the eye and said last year, 2024, Sam Darnold was not one of the best players in the NFL. So I think 72 is pretty solid for him. If he has the exact same kind of season in 2025 with the Seahawks as he did in 24 with the Vikings, I'd expect him to be on the list again, and definitely higher than 72, because then he'd be showing a track record of being good. I do expect him to continue being decent. I mean, maybe this previous year is his peak. I'd be okay if he kept playing well and did good stuff for the Seahawks, as long as it didn't hinder the Vikings. I think it's pretty cool. He is the third 2024 Viking to show up on the list. I think who are the other two? Do you remember?
Aaron Jones was 98.
Yep. Okay.
And Van Ginkel was,
I think he was 88.
88.
Yep. And and now at 72 is Sam Darnold. So I expect to see. So last episode, which was a couple weeks ago now, because I was again with Big Top Ventures in Cancun last week. So, but a couple weeks ago we had friend of the show Forrest on, and he kind of asked us, like, who do we think will be other Vikings on the list, and I think he even mentioned Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson as pretty obvious ones. So I would say the Vikings have at least one more obvious one on the list, hopefully a couple more, but probably just the one guaranteed one.
Yeah, there's nobody in their right mind that wouldn't put Justin Jefferson on that list. But I mean, if there's already been 3 2024 Vikings in the top, what was Darnold again?
72. So 72? The top 28.
So in the bottom 28.
Sure, yeah.
Theoretically,
the initial
28. So if there's 71 to go.
As of now, they've announced all the way up through 69, I think.
Okay, so there's 68 to go.
Yeah.
I would venture to guess if there's already been 3 Vikings in the top 69, or the
Sure.
Initial 69. That's tough to think about.
The initial 31.
Yeah. See. This is
You're an English teacher, and I don't do anything with math, so
I'm terrible at numbers. Anyways, if there have already been 3 Vikings from last season on the list, the point I'm trying to make is I feel like there's going to be more than just Justin Jefferson
there
left.
Could be.
And I still think I said this a few weeks ago. I think Jetta's is probably top 10.
He could be.
I think he's number 1 through 10. I don't think he's 1. I don't think he's even maybe 5, but I think he's top 10.
Well, the year that he was number 2. That was the year he got Offensive Player of the Year. He went off. He had, like, that was the year we were saying, like, could he get 2,000 receiving yards? Like, he exploded. And then the year after, he missed a significant amount of games for injury.
Yep.
And then this past year was just a normal, 1,500 yard-ish season for him. So I would expect top 20 is where I would think he would show up. But
I'm still going to hold the top 10. Okay. I think he's there. And I think if that's the case, there's no way that there's nobody from 68 to 10 or 60, even to your point, 68 to 20. Mm-hmm. There's no way there's nobody in that significant chunk of players on a 14-win team that don't crack that
That's
list.
True. I think the only other player I kind of mentioned was Harrison Smith. Mm-hmm. And I think I even said, hey, if Harrison Smith doesn't get in, in the first 20 announced, from 80 or through 100, he's probably not going to get in. So I think we're already, in my mind, as much as I think he's one of the best players in the NFL, even still, I don't think we'll see him on this list because he hasn't shown up in the top, the initial 30 or so that have been announced. So I can't really think of, off the top of my head, anybody else. I think Renard could have a case for it.
Blake Cashman
could have a case for it, but now we're starting to get into, like, the elites. Like, a third of this list has already been announced, essentially. And I mean, 2/3 of the top 100, that's not a lot of players. Like, and I think just in the last announcement was the first Eagle to be announced, and that's a Super Bowl winning team. They're going to have a few. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. And truth be told, for me, I don't know what these kinds of things do for you, but for me, like, the awards outside of, like, MVP, they don't really do much for me. Like, it's cool to get, to see players that I like and I know are good, to see them get some accolades. I mean, I like when Justin Jefferson gets Offensive Player of the Year, when Kevin O'Connell gets Coach of the Year, stuff like that's cool. But also, like, I'm not bent up out of shape when they don't get those things.
And stuff like this and those awards, the top 100, they're fun for us to talk about. They're good fodder for us to just sit here and banter, or even, like, the people that get paid to do something like this, like the people on ESPN who sit there and, well, I don't think Sam Darnold's worth a darn, he shouldn't have been 72, or, oh, Sam Darnold,
I love it when you break out your Stephen A. Smith impression.
that was a quasi Stephen A. Smith impression. But anyways, like, it's good fodder for these types of things, but you're right, they don't really add up to a whole lot in the long run. And honestly, I don't think a lot of NFL players really hang their hat on that. Like, I don't think Sam Darnold's going to show up to training camp in the next couple of weeks and be like, well, I'm the number 72 best player in the NFL, so
I think you're probably right from the player's perspective, unless with two caveats. If, like, their contract gets them more money for getting a certain accolade, like, I know these guys, if they get Pro Bowl bonuses, and I'm sure you get paid more if you're voted MVP, stuff like that. This list, I don't think, I'd be kind of shocked if any player had a contract bonus based on the NFL Top 100 list.
This is it's a superlative, right? Like, in high school when you had, like, most likely to become president, most likely to end up in jail, right? Like,
and this is the time NFL players are getting arrested.
Fun fact: did you know that I made our high school superlative list?
What was it?
I want you to make a guess as to what, because I made it. No, I'm not bragging at all, because it's really not that big of a
Was
deal.
it, like, most likely to get paid for music?
It was close to that.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I'm glad I was close. I'm not going to try to go any further.
I was best musician.
Nice. Okay, there you go.
So, along with someone they always did a guy and a girl.
Okay.
So I was the guy, best musician, and you won't see my picture in the yearbook. You'll see my name in the yearbook, but my picture's not there because I was gone at state track.
Oh, there you go.
So, anyways,
nice.
fun. But that's how I like. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, I don't do really anything musical anymore. Like, okay, I was voted best musician in my high school class. That's great. Sam Darnold is number 72 on the NFL 100 top 100 lists going into the 25 season. Great. That's fun for this year, but it probably won't carry a lot of weight moving down the road. And like, who knows? Sam Darnold, he could turn into a pumpkin this season. I mean, like with Seattle, like they could be a total bust. He could revert back to what he used to be with the Jets and the Panthers, and we as Vikings fans will always have that one, like, oh yeah, remember the 24 season? We won 14 games. That was awesome until it wasn't, you know.
I will say, not to turn this into a Sam Darnold episode, but with the Panthers, he started off pretty good, and then he got injured and lost his job basically due to a combination of injury and like Baker Mayfield playing halfway decent. So,
but like, so I'm looking at his stats right now. He actually had a better completion percentage in New York than he ever did in Carolina. Yeah. And his completion percentage in Minnesota, pretty much all of his stats in Minnesota this last season were career best.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I truly think Kevin O'Connell is the quarterback whisperer. Mm-hmm. He knows how to get the most out of those guys. And I was explaining this to somebody. It might have been my mom. I think I was explaining to my mom, like, because I think my mom was asking, like, well, do high school quarterbacks have headsets in their helmets? And I'm like, no, they just look to the sideline and their coaches are doing all sorts of weird stuff. You know, hand
I'm sure
signals.
Somewhere there's probably some like Texas conference
in some states.
Yeah, they've got that,
but not in Iowa, not where we live. And I was telling my mom, I'm like, well, for the first time, I think either last season or 2 seasons ago, college quarterbacks got it in only like Division I FBS schools. I don't even think like our alma mater, UNI, FCS, like smaller schools got the headsets. But the big schools, if you're Division I FBS, you're, you know, a playoff bound team or a playoff,
that level of
football. It was within the last year or two that they got that capability for the offensive coordinator to radio in to the quarterback's helmet the play. But anyways, all of that to say, like, the magic that Kevin O'Connell can work in 30 seconds, from 40 seconds to the time it cuts out. Is it 10 seconds where it cuts out on the play clock?
Like 10 or 15, something like that. Yeah.
Like the amount of stuff he can communicate is incredible. And then for him to be able to dissect all of that during the week, work with them in practice, in film, whatever, and then go out onto the field and make it work. Like, we've seen it countless times in the past 3 years that the guy has coached this team. Yeah, it's phenomenal. And like, even Kirk Cousins, like we watch the Netflix quarterback series, and you know, this most recent, you talked about it, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, 2 episodes ago, Kirk Cousins. You've watched a couple episods now.
Oh yeah, and I've only watched the first episode of that.
Oh, I've watched a few now.
Nice.
It's been interesting. Like, Kirk specifically had a really big learning curve to really adapt to this Falcons offense, and that probably is something that led to his demise a little bit in Atlanta. But all of that stems back to Kevin O'Connell. The guy just knows how to speak the quarterback's language, because he knows what it's like to be under center and look out and see the defense, make the read, motion the guy over, do whatever needs to be done, tell your offensive line, hey, block this way, block that way, right? And it's just like, it's mind-boggling to me that he can communicate all of that and be effective at what he does, and be effective with a guy like Sam Darnold, who never cracked like what is it, 61.9 completion percentage in his career, and then all of a sudden he comes to Minnesota and throws 66%. Like, that's a huge jump. That's a 5% jump.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I fully agree with you. Kevin O'Connell, he's done that with multiple guys now. Like, he did that with himself as a player in the league. Like, you don't get to be an NFL quarterback, even if you're at his level, which wasn't, you know, Hall of Fame. He was a fringe bubble roster guy, but still NFL quarterback. He's very talented. He reads the field very good. But also, Sam Darnold was the 3rd overall pick. You know, he was a really good college quarterback. He had flashes everywhere he was. He was with the Jets. Like that's just a dumpster fire organization. And the last time they made the playoffs was 2009. I forget about that. I think the Vikings, what was us as Vikings fans, like, where the league hates us and it's just pain being a fan of the purple. But like, the Jets haven't made the playoffs since we were in high school, or I guess our first year of college. Like, can you imagine? The Vikings haven't done a lot more than that, but they've still made the playoffs. We've had the Minneapolis Miracle. We've had so many good things.
And the Jets fans would say, well, we've won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, back when cars were $37. Like, I mean, you know, like, again, yeah, you're right. The Vikings have never won a Super Bowl, but also Vikings are a lot more accomplished than the Jets, especially in our lifetime.
The Vikings are the 4th winningest team all time in league history,
which is awesome, but also means nothing because
there's no championship there. But yeah,
all that to say, Sam Darnold, number 72.
It's well deserved.
Yes,
well deserved. And you wish him the best in Seattle.
Yeah, absolutely.
And except for when they play the Vikings,
which I feel like is going to happen this year. I don't remember the schedule off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure the Vikings.
I feel like it's like early on.
Yeah, I
haven't looked at the schedule a lot recently, but they play Seattle, and I think we complained about it when the schedule first came out because we were like, oh man, we always go to Seattle.
Yeah. And this one, I'm pretty sure, is in Seattle as well.
It always is. It's never at home.
Yeah, but that'll be fun.
Yeah, week 13 at Seattle.
Yep.
Right after my birthday.
One really good thing is, I'm pretty sure in week 13, Jordan Addison will probably have served whatever suspension he will be getting and already be back with the team well before that week 13 game. So I guess that's a good way to move on and talk about Jordan Addison. He pled, I don't even know what it was, no contest.
It was like a no contest or something.
It wasn't quite, he didn't quite plead guilty, or maybe he did plead guilty to a lesser charge than what it was, like a DWI or DUI. You mentioned what the charge was earlier. It's like
wet reckless, I think. And I'm trying to find, I'm looking on Twitter for whatever Dustin Baker's commentary was on it, because it was hilarious. But anyways, go on with what you were saying, and I'll find this.
But either way, we've known for a while Jordan Addison, based off of his, thank goodness he didn't hurt himself or anybody else this time last year, but his DUI, DWI, whatever they call it in Minnesota, plus speeding over 100 miles an hour or something. He was such an idiot. And based off of that incident, we've known for a while, he's probably looking at some kind of suspension from the league once his legal process goes all the way through. Well, this past week, pretty sure it did go all the way through. He pled, I don't know if guilty is the right word. It might be. Anyways, he accepted punishment for a little bit lesser of a charge than straight up DUI. And because of that, I think it wouldn't be too crazy for the league to say, like, hey, rather than a 4-game suspension or a 3-game suspension, you took some responsibility. He's got like a $400 fine or something like that, and 2 online classes he has to take. I wouldn't be shocked. I'd be a little surprised, but not super shocked if the league was like, all right, 2-game suspension, do everything else you got to do and don't get any more trouble, and you'll be good from there.
I found it.
All right, so Dustin Baker tweeted. What did he say? He
said, after all that, Jordan Addison was just wet as
F
and a wee bit reckless while wet. I remember reading that. What was this? A few days ago. This was like 5 days ago now, 4 days ago. And I couldn't stop laughing for a solid minute. Like, it was just, that's accurate. He was just wet and a wee bit wet. Oh, that's hard to say. A wee bit wet. A wee bit reckless.
I will find that tweet and retweet it from our Skol Hop account.
I'm already on our account.
So you are?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just quote tweet it with like some laughing, crying faces or something. You're an adult. You can figure out what you want to do.
You trust my judgment?
I've been
drinking.
Yeah, you've had, I guess, almost a full beer there.
Almost a full beer. Yeah.
What are your thoughts, though? Jordan Addison, do you think this is a good outcome? Of course, as of this moment, we don't know what the NFL is going to do. What do you kind of expect? What do you think would be fair?
So I saw something that said the collective bargaining agreement between the Players Association and the league was essentially... Hang on.
Are we switching for the second beer?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Got it.
That's for me.
I'm so sorry.
Slow your roll, man. You got to finish this one.
I know. I just didn't fully understand.
And I think we have other glasses if we don't want to mix.
Oh, okay. Anyways, I cut you off mid-sentence there. Oh, no.
We're good. We got it.
Nobody knows what's happening right now.
The CBA, the collective bargaining agreement between the Players Association and the league, I think specifically states that anything like what Jordan Addison is facing is essentially 3 games minimum. And it escalates from that. And I think, you're in a situation like that. Maybe, sure, you get a lesser charge. Mm-hmm. Good for you. You don't have to serve jail time, or you don't have to pay as hefty of a fine or whatever. But you're still, like, I think Roger Goodell wants to send the message, and I think he's right to want to send the message that, hey, when you get to this level, mm-hmm. you cannot afford to mess up like this. Like, you just can't. You are on a platform. You are making more money than most people make in their entire lifetimes in a season.
Yeah, in a few months of your life. And
that's not a license for you to go out and just do whatever the heck you want. Mm-hmm. So I'm a big fan of it. I like it. I've seen, and we've all seen, I saw a tweet not too long ago about and I think it was somewhat comical, but it was also kind of like serious in nature of like the convicts of the NFL, and it was like Aaron Hernandez and Henry Ruggs and I forget who else, but like these guys that have committed some pretty awful things that have had pretty awful ramifications for not just themselves but other people and other families. And so like for a guy like Jordan Addison, I think a 3-game suspension seems appropriate. I don't like that as a Vikings fan.
Sure, yeah.
I don't like that he did what he did, but I think just as a human being, you look at that and you're like, nope, that seems about right.
Learn your lesson.
And I don't know how that works in the CBA with like pay. I
think he loses game checks. Like he's not being paid for those games that he's suspended for.
But like I don't know how that works in terms of their contract either. Like sure they get their game, they don't get their game checks, but like in terms of their overall contract value, like whatever he signed with the Vikings, like I don't know how that affects that either.
I do think if a team wanted to go extreme, well, first off, the whole him getting punished and fair punishment and serving the fine and suspension, I'm all for it. You mess up, you pay the price. Thank goodness nobody was hurt in this situation, because somebody easily could have died,
right, for sure,
whether it was him or somebody innocent, so yes, do the crime, pay the time, all that stuff, and I hope he learns his lesson. But I think if in this scenario, if a team really wanted to, they could void guarantees from his contract. Mm-hmm. So like you see like, oh, somebody signs 5-year $100 million contract with $60 million guaranteed. Like those guarantee that $60 million would still be there, but if it was a heinous enough like crime where he, wasn't in jail but was still back with the team, a team could be like, no, we don't really trust you. You're still on the team, but your money's not guaranteed anymore. I do not think that's going to happen with Jordan Addison right here. Especially, It sounds like he's doing all the right things. He's taken the classes. He's done some like voluntary, like kind of being voluntold to do some like Moms Against Drug Driving events and stuff like that. So like I feel like he's going to be okay and do the punishment and everything like that, and he won't have his guarantees voided. But I think teams could, in situations like this, be like, yep, your money's still there, but all that was guaranteed, it's not anymore. So, and I think that's a part of the CBA as well. I don't know specifically. I'm kind of speaking with very little knowledge on that, but I think there's something there.
Yeah, and I'm trying to like maybe dig a little bit deeper, because like I don't remember everything that happened a year ago when all of this came out. I obviously, like, he fell asleep at the wheel of his car in LA, and I don't remember what the initial charges were.
I don't know if he was drunk or under the influence of something like that. Either way, I think speeding was involved. I just know he was being reckless. Whatever he was doing is what he should not have been doing behind the wheel. So,
and a wet reckless, whatever that means. Isn't it funny how like that's like a side note, I guess, but isn't it funny how like a term like that is probably thrown around a lot in like police world, but like the public has never heard of it, and then all of a sudden something like this happens, and now all of a sudden we're throwing it around like
we know what it is.
Yeah, like I don't. I'm assuming it's lesser than like a true DUI or whatever. And I've known people who've gotten DUIs and who've had to like gotta blow into the thing before you can start your car or stuff like that. Like, hopefully it's less than that for Jordan Addison. I don't know.
Yeah. But if that was his punishment, like, own it, But a $390 fine and 2 online courses seems pretty manageable for a kid who plays football for a living. Yeah. The real fine will be the loss of game checks and the time that he has to be away from the team.
But I think that's why Roger Goodell and the league has to enforce something like that, is because otherwise they could go out and do something like this every week and not really feel the effects of it and really drag down the image of themselves, their team, the league.
Yep.
It would just be bad news. So
all of that to say, he hasn't, in the public, at least as far as I know, done anything since that incident. There were a couple of like incidents in back-to-back years, but ever since, he seems like he's been a stand-up kid. Seems like he's doing everything the right way, and hopefully this is all just in the past for him now. So serve the punishment and then move on and just be a borderline Pro Bowl level wide receiver for the Vikings for the entirety of your career. I'd be okay with that.
And the like 1B wide receiver one for the Vikings.
He'd be a wide receiver one on a lot of teams.
Most teams, yeah.
Which is wild. Like...
And the Vikings, like, that's just how stacked they are. I think the roster is phenomenal, and I think that's huge credit to Kwesi for assembling this roster. It's pretty great. Before we get into the last thing here, we've switched beer.
Yep.
So we should probably scroll this up another time.
Again, I was drinking the Polka Band from Reclaimed Rails. You have poured one of those for yourself.
We'll switch these.
And you were drinking, what was it?
The River to River Pilsner from SingleSpeed.
Yep. And now we've switched it up and are drinking, I mean, they're our own beers now, but we're drinking each other's beer. We just need to Skol. I don't know. Words could not happen for me there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So tell me about it. What do you think of that one?
This is good. The maltiness really hits you like right away. And it's probably because I was just drinking that, which is, there's no maltiness whatsoever.
No,
in
it's
that.
very crisp.
It's crisp. It's sweet. It's good.
Yeah.
It's it's got that, like, it's a little more like, it's got some like sugary vibes to it in a good way. It's not like this like overly powerful, like, I don't know. My wife really likes Moscato wines. I hate Moscato. I just don't. I'm like, no, don't give me a Moscato. Don't like it. It's not like that. It's good. It's kind of like a Chardonnay of beer almost. It's like, it's good. It's crisp. It's white. It's clean on the finish.
Yeah.
This, on the other hand,
the Polka Band.
The Polka Band, yes. Reclaimed Rails Polka Band. This is my beer right here. Like, I'm at home and I'm so glad I waited for this. And that is nothing on the SingleSpeed River to River. It's a great beer. I've had it plenty of times before. I like it. I will drink it. We have a few more back here. We might have those before we go home tonight. But this is my beer. Yeah. I'm home right here.
So my thoughts on the River to River: nice, light, crisp Pilsner. I think recently, what did we have with friend of the show Forrest last time? It was like a light Pilsner, wasn't it?
What did we have? We had Ruthie.
Yes,
from
Ruthie.
Exile.
And from that one, I kind of said it's like a way better version of like a Bud Light. I would say a similar thing about this River to River. It's like a way better Pilsner than a Bud Light. Same category, nice, light, crisp, but just better, just higher quality.
It's got more flavor to it. It's not just like...
And not like with it being like crazy flavorful. It's still got that light and refreshingness, but you're right. There's a better flavor to it. Like, it's just better. It's a higher quality, I don't know, more craft, higher quality beer to me than, not that Bud Light is a bad one. Actually, like, it's a testament to Bud Light for being consistent for decades on end and still being good. But yeah, this is just better to me.
It's a good beer. They're both great beers. I'm enjoying both.
Yeah.
And I will enjoy more of both as we talk here.
Yep.
Okay, so we've talked about the NFL Top 100. We've talked about Jordan Addison, his current situation, hopefully 3 games and nothing more. Training camp.
Training camp.
Though. We're almost here, man.
We are exiting the dark ages of the football season. Luckily, as far as we know, no Vikings have been arrested. We just talked about the lone dark spot on the roster, the potential Jordan Addison suspension. But other than that, nobody's been arrested. Nobody has gotten into a tragic car accident like last year with the rookie cornerback,
Kyrie Jackson.
Yeah, Kyrie Jackson.
Sorry, I spaced on like, wait, what is he talking about again?
Yeah,
I got it.
So far this offseason, knock on wood, has been pretty calm. Nice. The Vikings have escaped it, and now in the next few days here, all the players are going to report. They're going to look at everybody for, health reasons and PUP list concerns, which there may be some of that. I think already, again, we're recording on Monday, so not everybody's reported yet, but already they've put a couple of young guys on the PUP list. I expect like a Christian Darasaw to be on a
probably
early season injury list. That hasn't been announced yet, but I fully expect that to happen. There might be 1 or 2 other guys on those injury lists, but yeah, the team is looking relatively healthy. The hype is real for the defense, the coaching, and the young now second year quarterback in JJ McCarthy. Justin Jefferson is on the team and still just as good as ever. We're not seeing the reports of anybody complaining about their contract. Again, at least publicly, the vibes are high for the Vikings right now, and training camp is about to start, and I couldn't be more excited.
So I've had a lot of people ask me, because they know I'm a big Vikings fan, and I'm unashamedly a Vikings fan and talk about the Vikings openly a lot. And a lot of people are like, well, how are the Vikings going to be this year? And I'll say this, and I always say this. Well, I think optimism is pretty high amongst all NFL teams at this point.
Everybody's undefeated. Everybody's got high hopes.
For all those reasons, and then I always follow up with, but I think the Vikings have legitimate reason to feel really good about
absolutely
where they are. 14 wins last season. you didn't really lose a lot of the players on that roster. You lost some.
I mean, you could argue a Pro Bowl quarterback who was just listed as one of the best players in the league. You're losing that in exchange for somebody we are both excited for, but really somebody who hasn't played yet.
And I'll play devil's advocate to that a little bit. I mean, you also are giving up the quarterback that lost to the Lions and the Rams twice in the most important games of the season. And, you know, just seemed to kind of crumble under the bright lights. Like the bright lights, okay, but the really, really bright lights, he crumbled.
Yep.
And, you know, Sam Darnold, love the guy. We already talked about him a little bit ago. He's a great quarterback. Wish him all the best in Seattle. But I don't know. I think the optimism, there's some weight behind the optimism here. There's some like actual meat behind it. It's not just fluff. It's not just air. It's not just like, oh, well, everybody thinks they're going to be good this year. It's like, well, no, actually,
I feel like the Vikings are going to be good this year.
They reinforced the trenches with some of those offensive and defensive line transactions that they made in free agency and the draft with Donovan Jackson. And you bring in Jordan Mason from San Francisco as that kind of RB2 guy behind Aaron Jones.
I think it's more RB1B.
1B, yeah. It's kind of that double-headed attack. Like, there moves like that it's just like, man, it doesn't matter if Sam Darnold is under center or not. Honestly, like, you or I could be under center.
I've made that joke probably even in our last episode.
I know. I'm hyperbolizing. I'm exaggerating. But, like, the point remains, right? Like, JJ McCarthy, we've said this, and I think friend of the show Dustin Baker has said this too. JJ McCarthy needs to just be good. He doesn't need to be great. He doesn't need to be amazing. He just needs to be good. He needs to be a good game manager. He doesn't need to be a Baker Mayfield. He doesn't need to be a Joe Burrow. He doesn't need to be a Patrick Mahomes. He just needs to be, I think of a Brock Purdy, right? Yeah. Like, Brock Purdy is kind of that style of quarterback. He's not the hero all the time. He's not this, like, lights out, well, if everything falls apart, he figures it out. Brock Purdy has some flashes, and he's made some big plays. He's bailed his team out of some hairy situations. Yep. But if JJ McCarthy can be close to what Brock Purdy has been for the Niners, man, the Vikings are going to be good.
To that point, I remember seeing a tweet about an article from today. I didn't even read the article, but I saw it out there, and the title is, Could Christian Ponder Have Succeeded with the 2025 Vikings? I don't know if... That seems pretty out there, too, but, like, at some point, like, could you throw a football? Are you an NFL-level athlete? I think Christian Ponder could still... in 2024 probably have done some good things. I think to say he'd be good with this team is to say a lot, because I mean, even the Pastronaut era flamed out really quick. So I don't know, but to your point, I think Dustin and what you were saying just a minute ago is absolutely right. I think JJ McCarthy just needs to be fine. He just needs to be okay. And then that will get the team where they need to go. We say, you know, I just said it a minute ago, yeah, we did the Vikings. Dang it, I did the whole we thing. The Vikings did it. I know, I've done it like 4 times. The Vikings they did let go Sam Darnold, and they're going all in with a kid that's never touched an NFL field outside of one preseason game. But the last time we saw JJ McCarthy play in an actual, like, football game that counts was just the college national championship game. And all he did was win, you know, like, and all he did before that was play really good the whole season and lead his team to the national championship. Like, this kid knows how to play. I think I saw a tweet recently that, like, if you take out the 2024 season for JJ McCarthy, where he didn't play at all, his worst season was a runner-up every other year of his football career as a starter, he has won the championship. Like, that's insane to think about. And I know that goes through high school and stuff too, but this kid's a winner, and we've heard only good things about him. We've seen only good things, but for a season-ending injury, this team's going to be good, and I think J.J. McCarthy is going to be a big reason why.
I'm trying to pull up. There's a way to, like, you know how you can, like, compare two players.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to pull up J.J. McCarthy and Christian Ponder just for the heck of it. Like, it would be interesting to see how they played in college versus...
Well, that's the thing. Christian Ponder, I think, was a good college quarterback. I really think in his last college season, he got a shoulder injury that just wrecked the rest of his football playing career. He was good enough to keep throwing a football, but he was never quite back to good, 11th overall pick or whatever he was, 12th overall pick good. That's a whole nother, case study episode for the Skol Hop to look at Christian Ponder and how he could have been. But I think, I think J.J. McCarthy is a better quarterback, college or NFL, and he will show it. He will prove it as we see him on the field. Are you comparing him now? Do you got the stats head to head?
It won't let me do that without a
subscription.
Paid subscription.
Nah, so that's all right. Maybe we'll figure something else like that out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. But anyways, I think because I think you brought that up with, like, would Christian Ponder succeed? And I think the heart of that, like, headline is, would he succeed as a rookie quarterback? Because we're all kind of thinking of J.J. McCarthy as a true rookie, even though he's not. He's kind of this red shirt rookie. He's kind of this second year rookie who probably let's be honest, he would not have beaten out Sam Darnold. Probably not, but we never know. Like, that's the whole what if game. But I think at this point we can pretty safely say we can't say anything for certain 100%, but I think with, like, 95% certainty we could say, like, there's no way Sam Darnold loses the starting job to J.J. McCarthy at this point last year. Like,
as of right now, last year, you're right. And I think the team they were going to give J.J. every opportunity, but they were still going to prepare. Like, Sam Darnold never was QB2. He was only ever QB1. And that's all. Like,
until
that's how
he
they
lost
were preparing.
it. Until he lost it. And then JJ gets hurt, and then, well, all right, it's kind of a de facto, it's your job, period, for Sam. Anyways, all of that to say, like, okay, comparing Christian Ponder at that same point in his career, either fresh out of college or second year out of college, to JJ McCarthy, fresh out of college or second year out of college. At this point, I'm going to take J.J. McCarthy.
Well, yeah, but that's also recency. I
it's
agree
a recency
with you.
bias for sure, and it's the the national championship. Ponder didn't win a national championship,
but he played at Florida State. Yeah, I don't think he won any. Other than bowl games, I don't know for sure, but I do know he was like the fourth quarterback taken. That was like Cam Newton, Blaine Gabbert, Jake Locker year, and those three were all taken before Christian Ponder. And I think the Vikings, just pure speculation, remembering from 13, 14 years ago, I think the Vikings were like, oh crap, well, we have to take a quarterback. Our guy was already taken, so we need to figure something else out now. But yeah, that's right. I think the Vikings wanted J.J. McCarthy, whereas the Vikings reached for Christian Ponder because he was a first round level-ish quarterback and they needed one. But yeah, I think McCarthy, he is going to lead the team, and barring some crazy injury again, he's going to be playing and playing well. I'm excited.
The optimism is high, and I think there is there's teeth behind the optimism.
Well, if you believe recent articles, apparently the Bears GM said, oh man, people don't know how close we were to taking JJ McCarthy. If you believe that, I don't really know. Who cares? The things
doesn't matter.
It worked out the way it worked out, and I'm very happy for it. So, yeah.
Do you think Ben Johnson has some sort of positive effect on Caleb Williams.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Look what he did with Jared Goff. Mm-hmm. Jared Goff is, I'm sorry. Actually, Lions fans, Jared Goff, I'm sorry, but Lions fans, I'm not sorry. Jared Goff's nothing special. Like, he's fine. He's okay. I still, at this moment, will take J.J. McCarthy over Jared Goff.
Would you
yes,
take
I said that.
Matt Stafford over Jared Goff?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. And the Rams did just that. And all it did was get them a Super Bowl. So, yeah, Jared Goff, he's fine. I'd be okay if he was my team's quarterback, but I wouldn't be jumping for joy. Like, whatever. He hasn't done much. Yes, he has led a team to a victory over the Vikings. Sure, but, like, other than that, just like the Vikings have never won a Super Bowl, Jared Goff has never won a Super Bowl. Like, okay, good job. I don't think much of him. As a quarterback, I'm sure he's a good dude.
He didn't win a Super Bowl?
No. He went to the Super Bowl with the Rams, and they lost.
Okay.
And then ever since hasn't done anything. Anyways, training camp's about to start. We're about to have so many more things to talk about for the Vikings. We may or may not have a brew hop coming up, which I don't know if we need to go through the whole route or anything like that, but it'll be a different route than we did last year with the brew hop 1.0.
Yeah. So last year was our first year, and we went basically from where we are, which is Quad Cities, kind of Iowa, Illinois border, right on I-80. And we just followed I-80 down to Des Moines and hit a bunch of breweries, kind of branching off of I-80. Stayed the night in Des Moines and came back. That was our route. So this year we're going north.
Yeah,
we're not going west. We're going north. We're going up. We're going.
We're talking
kind of following
Great River. Yeah. Great Revivalist.
We're talking.
The Dubuque area. There's
Dubuque area. Yeah. We're talking River Ridge, which we've been to before for the podcast event in Bellevue, the Mainstream podcast, who we've kind of networked with.
Yep. Toppling Goliath up in Decorah. There's another one in Decorah, or at least Pulpit Rock. Yep. Maybe even Cedar Falls, Waterloo area, depending on where the route takes us.
Yeah. So I think we'll kind of follow the Mississippi up to Decorah, and then I think the plan is we'll kind of come back down more like Cedar Falls, Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, back home.
Yeah.
On day 2. So we're still a little uncertain on the entire map of the journey, but that's the rough estimate. And I think the kind of the peak of it all is to get to Decorah. Correct me if I'm wrong. You've never been to Toppling Goliath.
That's correct. I can't wait. Because Pseudo Sue is probably my favorite beer, and that's Toppling Goliath.
And I went to Toppling Goliath with some buddies in December.
Okay.
We went hunting near there and stayed near there, and that's where we kind of all met up. We were kind of all coming from different places. I had a buddy come in from Wisconsin, had a buddy come in from Des Moines. I drove up with a buddy from the Quad Cities area, and we all met right there. And it was, I can tell you, Toppling Goliath is awesome.
I'm super excited. Cool. I've only heard and seen good things from their beers and the brewery. That's going to be the one I'm most excited for. But who knows? Any random brewery on the list could end up being like, yeah, I was really excited for this, but holy cow, I didn't see this other brewery coming like that. Like, that was crazy.
Speaking of that,
Reclaimed Rails
in Bondurant.
Yeah,
that was like one of my favorite breweries from last year, and I'm a little disappointed we're not going that way again because there's a ton of good ones. But I think that just means we're gonna find some really good ones this year too.
Yeah, and some great beers. Just great breweries, great beers. I'm super excited. We're bringing along a friend of the show.
Yeah.
Which I don't think it's a secret. We talked about it the last episode.
Yeah, I think we kind of like formally invited him last episode, but Forrest will be joining us.
Yep, friend of the show, Forrest. And of the three of us, he is the beer guru. He knows. He doesn't even live in Iowa, but he knows more about Iowa breweries than I'll ever know. So I'm really excited to bring him along along and have him share his expertise and maybe even learn a few things too along with us. So that'll be a great overnight trip, and that's coming up soon in the next few episodes. That'll be just the entire episode of one of the next few episodes. So I can't wait.
Yeah. What did you think? Which beer, SingleSpeed, River to River, or Reclaimed Rails Polka Band, which one would you, now that you've had both, if you had to go back to the store and you're like, I want that one, which one are you grabbing?
So it'll depend. I'm going to do my classic not answer.
You're so good at that.
It would really truly depend on the vibes. If we're talking about, like a July 4th, kind of like an all day, we're going to be outside quite a bit in the heat, hanging out, doing a bunch of things, but also trying to throw a few beers back without getting messy. Really, without getting messy, either of these would be fine. But yeah, this River to River is just a nice, light, crisp, 5.4%, nothing too offensive, Pilsner that you could really drink these responsibly all day. And that's what I would gravitate towards. But if we're sitting by a fire in October and just sitting and chilling and enjoying the laughter and stuff like that Oktoberfest, the polka band, that's my jam. So probably on any given day of the two, I'd reach for the River to River more often. But yeah, in the right setting, that polka band would be a very nice beer to have.
And I think that's where we differ, because I would have this polka band like every day of the week. I don't mind the River to River at all. I think it's a really good beer, and if you cracked one open and gave it to me, I would drink it and accept it wholeheartedly. And there's nothing against either brewery. I think they're great. We've been to both.
Yeah.
Not Skol Hop. We've been to Reclaimed Rails, Skol Hop together, but
I don't think I've been to like the bigger SingleSpeed brewery.
Oh, really?
I think I remember a small Cedar Falls one.
Well, that could be a part of this year's brew hop, is the Waterloo SingleSpeed, which has kind of become their mainstay. So, anyways, really good beer, regardless of which path we took. I liked both. It's been a while since I've had River to River. I really liked it. But this polka band definitely hit the spot, and I might have another one before we leave.
We got a couple more,
but I don't know. Do you think it's time to close this out?
Yeah, these were some great beers. I think we had some good conversations. You might say best episode yet.
I would.
Skol.
Skol.